already know, it's your boy Shalandon with Social Remedy TV. I'm back again with some brand new episodes, and I'm reporting live from a new location. So this is gonna be some new locations, new episodes, new information for you to be empowered. So you know this is your source of inspiration, motivation, and healing, and we absolutely cannot tolerate any gatekeeping. Listen, today I have a wonderful guest, a very special guest with me. Check it out, my friend Angel. Angel, listen, Angel is a leader of women in tech. Oh my gosh, like she has a whole lot of things going on. And I'm telling you, once we get into this interview, you're gonna wanna hear, ladies, if you're watching, you're gonna wanna hear everything that she has to say, because like I said, this is built to inspire and built to help us all, right? And be better professionals. That's what we wanna do, all right? We'll be right back. All right, so we're back. How you doing, Angel?
I'm doing great.
Good, good, good. So here, I'm so excited to have you. I know we were at the event earlier this week.
Yeah.
It was an amazing event. The brief moment I was there, it impacted me. And like I said, I was hearing a lot of things that you were saying. And so what I want to talk about is why is women in tech so important?
Yeah. It's critical.
Yeah.
So it has far-reaching impacts than we think of right now.
Yes.
So when we think of technology right now, we're thinking of our phones or social media or just the tech that we see before us. But tech is advancing literally at light speed. So when we think of tech, those of us that are in the profession, we're thinking of artificial intelligence. We're thinking of machine learning. We're thinking of robots in our day-to-day lives.
Wow.
So all of those things that we think of when we grew up, I'm a Gen Xer, so when we think of, the Jetsons and, you know, you're in your car flying around.
Absolutely.
And you've got the maid that's, moving around your house, cleaning up. That's all here, right? Like we're here.
It's right now.
It's right now. And not having diverse representation as tech founders, as tech leaders, when we're talking about training machines, training computers, training robots.
Yes.
We are building in our biases into that coding, into that learning. And so
Hold on, pause right there. Hold on, I just caught that.
Yes.
So we're building in biases.
Correct.
So we're inputting this into a system that has not learned, it doesn't know anything about it. We're putting that into the system.
And it just feeds on itself.
And it feeds on itself.
We're training it to learn itself.
Oh, wow.
So it's just now exponentially, we're now feeding off of the biases. And so here's a great example, right? Here's the example I love to share, which is so telling. Over in the UK.
Yes.
Before it came to the US, over in the UK, when you were coming from another country into that country as a citizen of the United Kingdom, they would put you under a scan, and they would biometric scan you to know that it was you and identify you, right? Just another layer of just having somebody's, a passport or an ID that's easily falsified.
Right.
Well, the problem is those scanners could not scan dark skin. Now here's the kicker. Y'all ready for this one? They knew that when they implemented it.
Wow. So it's strategic.
They knew that.
Very strategic.
Could care less. Yeah, we know. So in their mind, it's iterative, it's incremental. We'll get there. We're going to put it out there now, knowing that it's literally going to be successful with half of our population. And we're okay with that. So if we are not in those decision-making seats to be able to say, no, we're not putting this out in production until it is more inclusive, until this we know that this is going to not have a detrimental effect to our citizens, to all people, until you have people that are that have those lived experiences that would be impacted by this change. Right. Then those voices are not going to get heard, and decisions that hurt us will continue to get made.
Wow. So
diversity, representation, getting us into the C-suite, getting us into founding tech positions is critical. Yes. But here's the thing, it's the long game. right? There's a significant length of time between someone graduating with their computer science degree or their computer engineering degree to the point where they are in a position to where they can get funded as a tech founder, or that they are making it into the position where they have some authority and accountability, right?
Wow.
And the challenging part for women, and especially women of color, is that when we do make it to those positions, two things occur.
Talk to me.
One, we're dog tired. Let's just be honest. The emotional and mental tax that is paid on your way from being the only in that computer science department all the way to being only in a position where you finally can make a decision, it's exhausting.
Wow.
And we're tired. And by the time we get to that position, we are seriously thinking, is it worth staying here?
Is it worth it?
Because I'm emotionally, mentally impacted. My family is impacted if I have chosen to have a family.
They lose too.
And so there's the emotional, mental hoops that you're constantly going through, to where you're thinking, is today the hill that I'm going to die on? Is this meeting the one where I'm going to speak up and say that's not a good decision? Is this the time where I'm going to advocate for someone that looks like me? Because every single decision and every single meeting is weighty. You have to pick and choose your battles.
Wow.
And that's on a day-to-day, meeting-to-meeting, whether it's Zoom or in person, decision, right? So that's that aspect. But then here's the kicker. A lot of times you have the position, but you don't have the power. You don't have the authority or the accountability to say what needs to be said. Oftentimes you don't get the budget.
Wow.
I countless.
Talk to me.
Countless of my peers are in positions where they are chief diversity, equity, inclusion officers. They're head of HR. They're head of some sort of business unit, maybe like an agile transformation. I know I've been there. That was my path to leadership. But guess what? We're beholden to somebody else's budget. And that budget is usually somebody that has a cost center. So that's somebody that's usually over operations or sales.
So I definitely want to continue down that road. I'm loving it. I'm so loving this. I wanted to say to women that are future leaders, right? Yeah. That are looking to be future leaders. These were two key points that you need to hear. You get tired even before you get there. When you get there, you're so emotionally worn out. Listen, I know there are some young ladies that want to be leaders, that want to be CEOs, that want to be managers, department heads, all of those things, right?
And we need them.
But we need to know how to operate before. Right?
Resiliency and having your personal board of directors and your network, your village that's going to keep you going is key. So that's what I found in my research. When I researched the book, Dents in the Ceiling, Tools Women and Allies Need to Break Through. In my research I shared my experience along with 30 other women in tech.
Absolutely.
Across the country. And the theme was, yes, it's hard. Yes, we experience microaggressions every day, sometimes overt discrimination, whether it's gender or race or ethnicity or all the above.
Right.
But we stay because we're good at what we do. We love what we do. We have business partners and peers that are getting great value and having positive impact because we are in the positions that we're in. Wow. And so there's this sense of, I'm not going to let anybody kick me off my pedestal, right? So you have to be a little hard-headed, a little stubborn, you have to have a lot of grit.
But does that play into that stereotype, that attitude?
Yes.
The angry.
Absolutely it does. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I do. So in the book, I talk about how we have to walk the tightrope. Now, women in general have to walk this tightrope. Okay. You can't be seen as too headstrong, because then you might fall into the stereotype of being a B. For Black women, you definitely don't want to fall into the detrimental stereotype of being an angry Black woman. Right. But at the same time, in an American culture, you can't always be smiley either and overly nice. We're experiencing Kamala Harris. Right. She laughs too much.
Right.
That is actual a thing. That's actual thing. You can't be too nice either, because then you'll be soft and not hard enough to make the hard decision. I wonder if she can make the hard decisions. So it's this very thin tightrope that you're balancing of being competent, right, but likable.
Yeah, that's
enough.
That's a hard little balance.
Just enough.
That's a hard little balance to do, and especially for us, it's a lot of times, especially for Black men, a lot of times we are told to, don't smile, don't cry.
Absolutely.
Be hard.
Yes.
Make these tough decisions.
Yes.
Move on.
Yep.
You scrape your knee, get up.
Yep.
Move on.
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
Absolutely.
You mess up, it's all good. Even if they messed up on your behalf,
keep quiet.
Keep quiet.
Keep quiet. Absolutely.
If I bring it up, you're being disrespectful.
Yeah, exactly. we live in a blame the victim society.
It's toxic.
Across the board.
It's toxic.
Across the board. And that toxicity has made its way very much so into our corporations. And we see that not just in corporate America, but we absolutely see that in the entrepreneurial realm as well, for sure.
Wow. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the book, Dents in the Ceiling. What inspired Dents in the Ceiling?
Okay, so I
love the title.
Thank you. And it's dense because there's this notion that we are breaking the glass ceiling.
Right.
No, not maybe some of us are. Maybe some women are having the ceiling broken for them, or they're breaking it.
Yeah.
But for those, again, that have gender and race and ethnicity and English as their second language, or they're not from America, when you layer in all of those different identities, it becomes a concrete ceiling.
Wow.
And so we're down here at the bottom making dents in it.
Making dents.
Yeah. And so where that comes from is I consider myself, I identified as a tech girl. That was my identity. Absolutely. Did not think of myself as a writer. And I was attending, so I live in Indianapolis at the time. Mm-hmm. I'm flying to Atlanta at the time. Yeah. This is 2019, right before COVID. Mm-hmm. And I negotiated into my new role, getting some executive coaching. But I didn't want just any executive coaching that the company had on that gentleman was not going to be for me.
Please don't leave that out. Yeah. Because that's needed. Executive coaching.
Critical. And so I said, I know I'm going to need an executive coach when at this level for sure. But the company person was not it for me. Mm-hmm. And so I specifically asked for an executive coaching program called Emerge through IT Senior Management Forum. And it's specifically, the Emerge program is specifically for IT African-American women who are in IT leadership positions. And I said, that's what I need. And so I'm flying, my company's flying me from Indy to Atlanta to do this program. And in the program, the director at the time, Kylie, I was lamenting to her after one of our sessions about how tough it is. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm in this new program. I know I've got baggage from the other company that I just left that was completely toxic. I don't want to bring that into my new role. Help. And she's like, just write about it. And I'm like, sweetie, I just told you I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I've got a new job. I don't have time to write. And she's like, just think about it. That's all.
That's how it works.
The seed got planted, right?
That's how it works.
And sure enough, about a month or two later, I had a run-in, a little tete-a-tete with the VP. And I felt like he was bullying me. I felt like he was pressuring me into making a decision that I wasn't ready to make because I didn't have enough information and he needed it now and I didn't think he really did need it now. I think this could wait a day or two. And so we butted heads, and that was a trigger moment for me that brought back some of the unhealed wounds that I had from previous.
I love the fact that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we do operate from that place.
Yes. Yeah.
And certain things could trigger you and push you back and say, dang, I didn't think I still had that in me.
Exactly. I thought I had moved on, but here we are.
Here we are.
Here we
back
are.
at that location.
It's in my face.
Yes.
And so I remember Kylie's words, and I was like, you know what? And after I put the kids to bed, I opened the blank journal that my supervisor had given me, and I started writing. Shalanda, and I couldn't stop writing.
Wow.
I wrote all through the night.
Wow.
I looked
Don't tell me you wrote that whole book.
No, but I mean the guts of it.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
The guts of it.
Yeah.
And so I filled the notebook with examples and stories and snippets of where I had felt bullied, or there was a microaggression that I didn't speak up on,
right?
Or even a situation from a peer of mine that really impacted me, right? Because we don't even get a chance to talk about the things that happen to us indirectly.
Facts.
When it's a good friend of yours that is ousted because they spoke up.
Yeah.
Or just because they're a woman, they got passed over. We don't even talk about what happens to our colleagues and our peers, and the stories we hear. We have to keep going, right?
Yeah.
And so that was my chance to just literally emotionally expel all of that out. And I didn't think my story was good enough. I thought if I put my little article out there on like Medium or some sort of LinkedIn article or whatever, if I put just my story out there, I didn't think that was going to be good enough.
I love to hear this part of the story, because this is exactly what this podcast is about. It's about knowing who you are, finding your identity, right? And who God says that you are.
Yeah.
But you are enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I did not believe that.
But when you do, when you finally get it,
yep, it's
such a level of freedom.
Yes. Oh my goodness, yes.
I didn't know. Wow, I can't believe.
Yep. Exactly.
I put this in you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So God that's magnificent. And I'm loving to hear this testimony. So you can go ahead and continue.
Well, so because I didn't think I was enough, I said, well, let me at least interview 2 or 3 other women, so that they can add to and validate my experience, right? Because my experience wasn't valid enough. I'm gonna have to go out and get other people to validate what I'm experiencing.
You're talking to somebody today.
And God opened the floodgates.
Yeah.
A friend of a friend of a friend recommended me, told about the project I was doing. Absolutely. Hey, she's looking for Black women who work in tech to share their experience. She put me on some sort of listserv.
Yeah.
And before you know it, I had women calling me saying, hey, Angel, I hear you want to hear about my story in tech. What do you want to know?
Wow.
I interviewed 30 women coast to coast, all from all levels to.
Wow.
And that's where the themes of the chapters of the book came from.
I love it.
Being treated like the maid.
Yeah.
Microaggression, sexual harassment, all of that.
Man, this is awesome. And you got a full book. Yep. Where can we get the book?
Yes. Oh, Amazon.
Amazon. Dents in the Ceiling.
Yep.
It's by my friend Angel. Listen, I'm telling you, Black women in tech. I love it. Women in tech.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
And here's the key. And this is what we found out at the sponsorship event that we went to last week.
Right.
Women and men were coming up and saying, I'm not in tech, but I needed this information. My wife's not in tech, but I'm getting this book for her. She's in marketing, and I know she's experiencing what you're experiencing.
Absolutely.
I had a gentleman come up and he was like, I'm a sponsor of the event. I'm seasoned in my career, and what you're talking about, I'm about to leverage and use for me.
Absolutely.
So these are mentorship, sponsorship, leveraging your village, being intentional about putting your emotional and mental health at the forefront.
Yes.
I do think that's one thing that's a benefit that COVID gave us, is that we all now have a shared vocabulary and lexicon around mental and emotional health, and no longer is it stigmatized the way it was prior to.
Absolutely.
And so that's affecting both men and women. So the key in the book is that it's and allies. So at the end of each chapter, there's a page of, here's the 3 or 4 things you need to think about as a female. Here's the 3 or 4 things you need to think about if you are in a position of power and authority, i.e. Caucasian male.
Yeah, also it's educating as well.
Absolutely.
It's that educational piece of saying, hey, this is how we handle this situation from this perspective, because this is what I've learned as well, you know, working in corporate and being in those environments. I've been blessed to have like some wonderful leaders that have sold into me, that looked out. But not only that, a good leader asks questions, right? Mm-hmm. And what I found is our conversations were more rich when they asked questions about, you know, I'm trying to understand your plight, bro.
Yes.
Or I'm trying to understand, just try to understand the culture. And listen, let's talk. Let's have an educational piece so you can understand some of the things that you say, or the things that you do you may think is normal.
Yep. It's not normal for everybody.
Right, it's not normal for me.
It's not normal for everybody.
And, I remember a situation. What situation was it? It was in St. Louis when the riots happened. My boss came out. He was like, "Shannon, I don't understand. Like, why? Like, why are they angry? So angry? I understand why. You know, they killed so and so, and why are they so angry? And why are they burning down their stuff?" I said, "This is what I want you to do. Just remember, what if it was your brother laying out in the street and you knew, regardless of what he did, they had him laying out in the street like a dog, right? For 8 hours, 4 hours. And nobody would hear your voice. Nobody would hear your family's voice. Nobody's hearing your cries or anything. And you're just asking for help. Move him. Get him out the street."
Right. Right.
"This is my family member."
Right.
"How would you feel?" He said, "Man, I'll be ready to tear something up." I said, "That's exactly what I'm saying. This is exactly what goes on." So you have to understand, we're from two different cultures. We're from two different mindsets. But I think it's better for us to push the conversation and have the educational moments.
Yes.
So I love the fact that you have that piece where you say, "Hey, if you're in this role,
yes,
these are some things you must understand."
Absolutely. And I was surprised that through interviewing, because obviously I didn't just interview women, I interviewed men, and they were, it kind of shocked me. I'm like, oh, okay, these, from my perspective, these are men who are accomplished in their fields.
Yes.
You know, tech, leadership, HR, etc. And they have this persona of being extremely knowledgeable and have this, you know, strong-headed, decisive. But they were afraid to have authentic conversations with their female staff. Yeah. They're actually afraid to give the frank and candid feedback that is detrimental, that is critical to these women's career paths. And when we as women, period, are not getting the feedback that we need. We're not getting that, we're not making our way into that, let's sit down and have a conversation. Right. It's very much work. It's very much,
absolutely.
Here's the task at hand, and here's what we need that needs to be done, and we move on.
How do we bring that culture to the corporate environment, saying, hey, let's have authentic conversation? How do we create those safe spaces? Because, you know, as employees, mid-level, lower level, whatever, they will say, hey, I don't trust leadership.
Absolutely.
And because if I say how I truly feel, or
I'm
really what's going on,
fill in the blank. Yeah,
exactly.
you don't want that mark on your back if you're trying to move up. And let's be honest, these tech roles have historically been quite lucrative.
Yes,
they have paid well.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, if you are a female and you are head of household from a financial perspective, you're going to be very careful about what you say, how you move, what you do, because you do not want to mess up those coins.
Absolutely.
Because those coins are not just dependent upon your livelihood, because I've heard that a lot too, is if it were just me, I would have spoke up. If it were just me, I wouldn't have taken it. I would have left that job a long time ago.
Right.
But we don't. We stay. Why? Well, because grandma's diabetes medicine is reliant upon that paycheck.
Man.
My nephew's college tuition is reliant upon that check.
Wow.
My daughter's 529 college plan is reliant upon that check.
Yeah.
I'm still paying off Nana's headstone from the burial site is reliant upon that check.
That's real. That's so real. That's so real. Listen, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. I have to pay some bills. All right. Hey, this is Shalandon once again with Social Remedy TV. We're reporting live from Brick House Coffee Co., Brick House Coffee Company here in Indianapolis. This is Signature Coffee. This is one of my sponsors. And so what we want to do is give out some free coffee. Those who are subscribing, go ahead and subscribe. We're going to pick a winner every week. We're going to pick a winner every week, and we're going to go ahead and get some information from you and be able to ship out the coffee to you. Just some free Signature coffee. Listen, y'all, we're back, and we've been having a great conversation. And you know, this is Women in Leadership Month right here. This whole little rollout, next couple of interviews, I'm talking to a lot of women leaders, and they're doing some wonderful things here in the community and around the world. So, man, my friend Angel, listen, y'all got to hear the rest of this story. All right, check it out. So, Angel, how can we use some of the practical things to get over some of those humps and challenges?
Absolutely.
That we're dealing with.
Yeah. Okay. So I did something a little unique. Mm-hmm. My background is IT project management.
Yes.
Now, IT project management from a high level comes in two flavors. Mm-hmm. Traditional, and what we know in the industry is agile.
Yes.
Now, agile is all about iterative and incremental development. That's all about putting something out there. Y'all know your iPhone. You know how your iPhone has come out with some features and you're like, y'all missed the boat on this one feature.
Right.
They knew about it. It's on the backlog. They just purposefully are going to release it later. That's iterative and incremental development. We're just going to put it out a little bit at a time, right? We're going to learn from the first one and then put in the lessons learned to the second iteration. Gotcha. That's how that works. So I did that for organizations and large teams globally for years.
Yes.
And I took a step back, and instead of focusing on doing agile, the mechanics of rolling out something, yes, I focused on the mindset. You have to have the right mindset. You have to be an agile thinker. So I tell people to think of Carol Dweck's growth mindset. Similar concept.
Yes.
But growth mindset is all about, it's not going to be perfect. We're going to iteratively and incrementally get something out there. We're going to focus on doing something and getting it done, mm-hmm, and getting the lessons learned from it, and then do it again. Continuous improvement, right? So when I thought about, well, the four things that I need to be an agile thinker is I need to step back and create a list of things for myself, a list of tasks, a list of what I want to do, a backlog, yes, of all these things. And then I got to prioritize it because there's only so many hours in a day. I only have so many resources. There's only one me. So out of this list of things that I want to do, what are the top 1, 2, 3, right? And then I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go do the thing until it's done, mm-hmm, but I'm gonna time box it. I'm gonna give myself a day, a week, at most 2 weeks. And then I'm going to check in with myself. Every Friday I do a quick little 15-minute, we call it retrospective in the industry. It's lessons learned. It's what went well, what didn't. What did I screw up on? What did I do well? And then I applied that to everything. I lost 12 pounds. I restarted my exercise program. I'm eating healthier. Yeah. I homeschooled my kids through COVID based on that mindset.
Wow.
So we survived based on the agile mindset, right? Yeah. And so now I'm evangelizing this mindset to literally any and everyone that wants to make a change, right? Whatever that change might be. It mm-hmm, could be literally from I want to lose weight all the way to I want to write a book. Because guess what? Dents In The Ceiling was written based on that four-step agile mindset.
I love it. I love it.
And so what we do now, mm-hmm, I have from the book, my business coach looked at me and she said, Angel, what's next? And I said, well, you help me market the book and we're just going to keep marketing this book and we're just going to give people the tools. We're going to give them, they're going to go read the book.
I love it.
And they're going to do.
Right.
And she just laughed and she's like, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. She's like, you're going to have to help them. And again, sure enough, as fate would have it,
do classes,
I had
events,
exactly, workshops, trainings, and as a result, through all of that, Amulet is now born. And so that's where myself, the lady you met when we did the Coach Wallace, her and 3 other women, we've all banded together, all each small business owners already in their own right. Right. But we've all come together under the banner of Amulet to provide inclusive leadership. Wow. To companies, corporations, and nonprofits.
And to teach them
and to teach them the agile mindset.
This is dope.
Yep. So exactly what you said when you was like, hey, your mom was like, hey, come sit, let's have a conversation.
Let's walk through this.
That's exactly what we do. We're hand holding business unit leaders, HR leaders, chief diversity officers, and executive directors of nonprofits. We're holding their hand through. Here's how you truly, authentically connect with your staff.
Such a blessing, though.
So that we can increase those employee engagement scores, so that they can do the work that is needed to be done for our community.
Absolutely.
We can't afford for them to burn out.
Right.
We can't afford for corporate trauma and secondary trauma to continue on.
Right.
We have to have leaders that are completely upping their game when it comes to emotional intelligence.
Yes.
And that is the new currency across the board. So no longer is it IQ. It's not what you know.
It's emotionally intelligent.
It's how you can connect to people. That is the hallmark of going from being a good manager to a great leader.
So that, with that being said, now going back what I said earlier about how can we have authentic conversations?
Yeah.
This is a way to have those authentic conversations because you built those relationships.
Yes.
I done held your hand.
Yes.
We done walked you through this.
Yes.
You're better.
Yep.
Now we've been in proximity of each other. We understand each other's tendencies.
Exactly.
You can hold me accountable. I can hold you accountable. And there's no rough feelings. I don't hate you. You don't hate me. It's saying, hey, this is a job we have to do and we have to get there together.
Exactly. And one thing my counselor said, Christian counselor, he hit the nail on the head. He said, we were talking about parenting, but it's so profound. It applies to everything.
Right.
He said, you have to have connection before correction. And I'm like,
how many of us, listen, y'all, check this out. I'm going to take this one to church. How many of us are not connected with our people, are connected with people, and we're trying to correct them? And then you wonder why you have lash outs, walk-offs, fits.
Yep.
People are upset. They call it church hurt.
Yep.
Or I'm just done.
It applies everywhere.
Because you have no connection.
Exactly.
Leadership in the corporate realm.
Oh, absolutely.
You have no connection.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to bring correction. Like,
absolutely.
The only thing that ties us together is $1.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah, that's not how this works. That's
not
how any of this works. Yeah, connection before correction. So once we walk leaders through understanding that we're going to teach you how to connect with your staff in a deeper way in order to achieve the outcomes that you all are here to achieve. Once they buy into that, and once we are working with them, so I think what our differentiating factor is that the majority to date of leadership programs have been, I'm going to send you off to a program. I'm going to send you off to a 1, 2, 3 day conference, workshop, whatever.
Yeah, that's how it happens.
And you're going to go get the learnings about how to be a leader and then come back and apply them, right? Well, our model is, again, very iterative and incremental. So we have a strong focus on practicing. So we give you literally an hour and a half worth of teaching or a new skill to immediately go practice. Like immediately,
it sticks.
Like tomorrow, you're gonna practice this with your team.
This is awesome.
And then we're gonna convene back in a week or two. How'd it go? Did you miss the mark? Did you get good feedback? Did the team not respond at all? Did it not land on them? Okay, that's okay. Let's try it again. The problem that we've seen to date is that when supervisors try to do something different, the moment they don't get that positive reinforcement or it doesn't work, they abandon it.
They quit.
They quit. I knew that it didn't work.
Right.
And it's like, no, let's keep trying.
That's right. Keep going.
We'll just try something different. Maybe that doesn't work for your team. Maybe that worked over there for Jim's team. That doesn't work for your team. That's okay.
Right.
Let's keep trying. And I'm here with you to give you feedback on some, let's bounce some ideas off of what could work. And that is way more receptive. Again, back to that, I'm in the trenches with you.
Right.
I'm not going to leave you and abandon you to go implement these new skills and these teachings that I've given you. Like, here you go, here's the book, go, which is what I thought. I was going to hand somebody the book and they were going to go implement. No, we're here together and let's learn together.
Now, I got to ask you, because you're big on mentorship. Who are you mentoring now?
Oh my goodness.
Who are you mentoring now?
I tried to mentor my daughter, but that didn't work.
Well, you know, that's too close.
That's too close, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's actually a girl from the session that we just had this week that we connected with. She immediately followed up. And we have a session on this Monday coming up, actually.
Listen, this couldn't happen without Bree.
Yeah.
So Bree and Brooke Source, Blacks in Tech.
Yeah.
Listen, I wanna give a shout out to y'all.
Yeah.
Like a huge shout out. Thank you. This could not happen without you, Rick Clemens, man, everybody at Brooke Source. Thank you so much for having women in tech, especially.
Yeah.
And you know, this couldn't happen. You start mentoring her this.
Yeah,
this
we'll meet for the first time on Monday.
Oh, this is gonna be awesome.
I'm like, yes. Yeah.
This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and it's cool. And I'm excited to learn from her too, because she's of another ethnicity and culture than I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm excited to learn what her experience is of, yes, we're both women of color in tech,
right?
But she's got a whole different set of stereotypes to deal with and navigate than I did.
Absolutely.
So we're going to learn from each other, and I'm excited about that. Yeah.
I got an idea for women in tech I want to share with you.
Okay.
I definitely have an idea for you.
Okay.
So man, listen, we'll be right back. Gotta pay some bills real quick. We'll be right back to finish up this conversation. But thank you for tuning in to Social Remedy TV. Peace. Yeah, man, this is gonna be awesome.
Oh, good.
This is
I know there's so much there.
There's so much.
Pregnant with so many ways to go.
Much.
Yeah.
So you're mentoring this girl. Okay, and where do we look like? Where is she looking to go?
She told me she wants to advance to a leadership position.
Okay.
So I'll verify, but when most people say that, they're talking, director level. Or maybe above. Maybe she's trying to be VP of product management or something. I don't know. I'll find out.
So I would like for you to expound a little bit on, you need an executive coach.
Okay.
You need a resume writer. Now the practicalities of moving in your career.
Okay.
Like if you want to move up in this career, if you want to be in your career, you want to do certain things, you can just hit a couple practical points, something that they can use.
I sure will.
Whatnot, and a word of encouragement.
Okay.
Whatnot to close out.
Perfect. I got 2 resources I can share with them, and then I'll hit the one highlight at each level that we did. Right. Same thing we did last night.
I got. So this is my idea.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Testimonials.
Yes.
And I'm talking about like documentary style type testimonials.
Yeah.
Light. See.
Yeah. Yeah.
I applied.
Yes.
Dents in the things that I've learned from Dents in the Ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was surprised there were quite a few women because we had an event on Monday. Mm-hmm. On Monday, and so they came up. They're like, I had your book. I read your book. Oh my God, it really had. And I was like, oh, okay, awesome.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That'd be cool.
Just saying. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna try to. Okay, we're still recording here. I'm gonna try to log in here. Okay, connection. It's not letting me connect. Connect. Accept. There we go. Oh, it's still recording too. Thank you, Jesus. This is good.
Good.
Now we can see what we look like.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I fixed my hair. Okay.
Nah, this conversation has been great.
Okay, good. Oh, good. Okay.
That's what it looks like.
Okay, awesome.
Now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's our monitor.
I like that.
A monitor.
Okay.
Oh wow. This is crazy. I'm going nuts because this is new.
Yeah, right. This is all of
everything is new.
And it worked out, thank goodness.
Yes, everything is new. So, okay. 3, 2, 1. Hey, and we're back. Listen, we were talking about mentorship and how it's very important and everything like that. So I want to ask you, Angel, about the practical things they can use if somebody wants to move up in their career if they want to take a certain direction, they want to hit a goal or whatever, what could they use? What are 4 things that they could use?
Absolutely. Okay. So the 2 resources that I strongly recommend that I actually applied.
Yes.
I read both of these books and created a development plan for myself and put the learnings from both of them together and implemented. The first book was by Carla Harris called Expect to Win.
Okay.
She tells the story of being the only African-American female at her level at a financial services firm, which was very rare in the 80s and 90s. And then second, the book by Sylvia Ann Hewitt called Forget a Mentor, Find a Sponsor.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a controversial title.
Yes.
Yes, you can have a mentor.
I got something to say about that.
But if for those that are type A driven, like myself, that were keen on, I'm going to advance to the highest heights of my career as possible, I'm getting to that C-suite level, you're going to have to focus on sponsorship.
Yes.
Mentorship is cool, but you're going to have to be critically thinking about sponsorship.
I have something to say right there.
Yeah.
So I was working, I work with the C-suite at my previous employer.
Got it.
Shooting interviews, all those things.
Okay.
Creating the communication that goes out, I visually take care of that, right?
Got it. Okay.
Produce it.
Yeah.
All those things, right? And one of my friends, one of my coworkers was like, "Hey, you got to meet the head of diversity and inclusion."
Okay.
Right? So I'm like, "All right, cool." And I'm looking for a mentor at this time.
Okay.
I want to say this for people that's looking for a mentor. And it's funny that you said, forget a mentor, look for a sponsor. So meeting this lady, the very first thing, like when I met her and we talked, she was like, get rid of the vernacular. I need you to, when you're in this suite, I need you to talk this way. I need you to use good English.
Okay.
I need you to clean it up.
Okay.
I'm like, oh my gosh, this is harsh. This is harsh. Like, she asked me a question and I'm answering it in a roundabout way. She's like, no, I need you to be direct. When people ask you questions on this level, everything has to be direct. I'm like, wow. Like, so this mentorship is sort of like out the gate, just challenging me to do better.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So going through it, I've learned, she taught me some things. She expounded on a couple things, right? Within the company, I was able to run down the vision. I was able to run down the mission. I was able to talk about the culture.
Okay.
When she began to ask me like certain questions, I'll be right on it because I don't want her to feel like she's wasting her time.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
But this is how it turned into sponsorship. She said, Shaletta, how much are you getting paid for your job? I'm next to the CEO, so you can tell me. Okay. I was like, okay. I told her. Yeah. She was like, oh, no, it's well below market value. Okay. This is what I want you to do. Send me your salary. Send me your reviews, your yearly reviews, right? And then I'm gonna talk to HR. I said, well, we're in the midst of whatever. Now this is crazy. 3 sentences in an email. This is why sponsorship is critical. She sent 3 sentences. It raised my salary up by $20,000. Now.
And there you have it.
The crazy thing was, they said, oh, I'm sorry, we owe you this.
Yeah.
Now, the head of HR called my boss and said, I have never seen someone get this type of sponsorship from the top down like this. Yeah. We don't do that here.
No.
But it happened for me.
But it happened.
But it happened for me. So it's
perfect example.
It's so critical. It's so important. It's so needed for you to understand what you're going after. Because in those moments, I didn't know. I just wanted a mentor.
Yep.
So I'll let you continue. I just wanted to talk about that moment.
That was perfect. I can't honestly. I cannot say anymore. That was perfect. Yes, that is it. And the hard part. I don't want to underestimate. For the folks that are out there talking. It takes a high level of emotional intelligence on your part to discern if this person is talking to me from a mentorship perspective or from a sponsorship perspective. Right. Because when she started to engage with you, those would be the hallmark signs of a mentor trying to coach you and groom you and get you in a position to where you're perceived differently. But she very well may have all along from the beginning is like, oh, there's something special in this person. I'm going to help him.
Right.
And so let me go through the steps of doing what we need to do in order to position him to where I can help him.
And the other thing was that I noticed that she didn't like try to pour into me to say, that's who I created, right? It was, I'm just trying to be a part of your success. That's cool.
Hallmark of a great sponsor.
That's cool. If I'm a part of it, fine. If not, fine. I just want to see you go.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
And she's not trying to control of saying, hey, listen, I don't want you to go in that position just to control what I do.
Yes. And we've seen that before too.
Yeah.
So I would say to wrap it up, the key things are if you find yourself in a position at different levels. So if you are new into a space or an industry, or you've just graduated, new graduates within 1 to 3 years, your job is to perform. You get to you just knock it out of the park. You focus on what you are good at and go deep. There's a jack of all trades, and then there's someone that is an expert. When you're new, you need to be an expert in something, whatever that might be. Okay.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then the next level is the seasoned professional. So 5 to 8 years in, that's where you are focusing on cultivating your personal board of directors, your advisor, your mentor, your sponsor. You're really getting your village and your network. You're really networking vertically in your space, and you're networking horizontally outside of just your industry. So that's one mistake that I made. I was super uber focused on tech, and my entire network, 99.9% of my network was tech professionals. To this day, if somebody's like, oh, you worked at this huge company in Indianapolis, do you know such and such? If they didn't work in tech, I don't know them.
I don't know them.
Right? And that's a problem. So you want to, if you are in IT, you want to network with people who are in HR, who are in marketing, who are sales operations, right? So whatever business unit you find yourself in, make sure you're networking outside of that unit. Third is the executive level woman, or the executive level period. If you're looking to break into that C-suite, now you're focused externally and not so much internally. Now you're focused on creating your brand. You need to be a thought leader outside of your organization. That's where you are joining boards. You are writing for magazines, tech trade magazines, or any in your particular profession. You're on YouTube or podcasts or anything where you're marketing yourself and your genius.
I need all of this.
Okay, all right. Market your genius. You're like, I am good at this area. You spent all those years crafting and honing and pouring into and training and all the certs and degrees. Now's the time to get that out into the world, right? Cultivate that. And then lastly, as you are, if you're in what we would consider a career pivot or transition, you're leaving one industry as a leader, a manager, director, and you're coming into another one, okay? That's where your diversified network is going to be key. And you're going to have to get a professional top A grade resume writer. There's just no way around it. As we joked around that night, you can't have your cousin looking at your resume at this point. Right. You're going to have to invest, meaning dollars, right? A minimum $250, $300, and that's bare bones minimum. In order to get a professional writer to redo your resume so that you can tell the story of the transition and really highlight your transferable skill sets in a way that's going to resonate with that hiring manager, and a good solid cover letter. I suck at writing cover letters. I tear my hair out. I pour over it literally over hours and days. But it's needed. And then the follow-up, right? If you can get that professional writer to give you a good solid paragraph as a thank you, because that's something that we as hiring managers rarely get, and it is a lost art. After you have every single interview, whether it was good, bad, or indifferent, you follow up with that HR professional or that hiring manager with a thank you email, or even handwritten note if you can.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So I know it's a lost art, and see, if you do the things, these are small things. This is the details that get you in the door.
Because I tell you what, these hiring managers and these recruiters, they have a vast network and a long memory.
Oh, absolutely.
And how many stories have we heard where you interviewed for one position, that recruiter left and went somewhere else and say, I remember you. I'm over at this company now, and they need what you have. Can you come interview with us?
Absolutely.
So they're
absolutely.
that's your network right there. Yeah.
Listen, Angel, I definitely appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Thank you once again. Tell them where they can get the book.
Amazon.com. Dents in the Ceiling, Tools Women and Allies Need to Break Through. And if you are an organization looking for inclusive leadership and some help engaging your employees, amuletconsortium.com.
amuletconsortium.com. Not only that, I need your socials. Tell everybody your social media, where they can go connect with you.
Okay.
If they're saying, hey, I want to, I need your leadership. I need to understand, I need to be mentored by you. Are you taking any Look,
I got that. I'm squeezing in this one young lady that's coming on Monday, and after that, I'm like, we're trying to build this consultancy. But it's going great. Honestly, I'm shocked and amazed about how it has blown up literally overnight. And again, it's all because of somebody said, hey, I think what you do over here, we need over here. And from there, it's just gone. So
your story's valuable.
I'm excited. But yes, if you're looking to reach with me, it's Speaking on Instagram or Facebook.
Okay.
And I live on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Like it's bad, y'all, but I roll over and I look at my LinkedIn before I even get out of bed. I got to do better. I really do. But I'm on LinkedIn as L Angel Henry or the Agile Enthusiast.
Oh, Listen, it's been wonderful. I so much appreciate it.
Thank you.
Listen, shout out to Brick House Coffee Co. This is
this
beautiful.
Is awesome.
The beautiful aesthetic. This is where we're shooting now. This is where we're actually recording now. And some things like that. So they have some coffee blends. If you want to come in and grab some coffee blends, they have House Espresso Triple B and their flagship El Corazon. Check it out. Check us out. All right. Listen. This has been Social Remedy TV, your source of healing, inspiration, and motivation, and we absolutely cannot tolerate any gatekeeping. We love you. We out. Peace. Till next time.